Okay, Anita, you should see me. And hopefully you can hear me. Try your chat again. So I typed, I was excited at the broadcast to test. Okay, so I should be on right now. Yay, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is crazy. It's weird though, if you can hear me, I'll talk to you, then I won't have to text you. Yes, okay. So on the bottom of my screen, it says I have 0 viewers, but you're on. So I wonder what that's about. It's working perfectly. Praise Jesus. But don't you think that's weird? It says 0 viewers here. And I'm scared to click on anything because I don't want it to stop working, because my troubleshooting skills with this program are 0. Golly, I wish I could figure that out though. Ooh, I can invite people right now. I can mute myself. I can turn the camera off. Settings. Oh, I have 6 viewers. 7. Yay, it's really working. Oh, this is so much fun. If I didn't have to look at myself, it'd be really fun. Okay. So viewers are coming on, so I know it's working. Yeah, we got more than that now. We got, I bet it just takes a minute to update. Okay, so it's 7:59 and we'll get going soon. Oh, this is so much fun. So if you can hear me, if you want to talk to me, try to group chat me. Anita, try to group chat me again and see if it works now, because I finally see you down. You exist now as one of my viewers, so I'm wondering if it'll now work for you to chat with me. So try to be in the group chat there and see what happens. And I'll see if I can chat. Oh, duh. Girls, this is just, okay, there we go. Okay, so I just tried to do the group chat, and I want to see if you guys got the group chat. So Anita is on my phone because she's being my helper via text in case this didn't work. Yay! Oh, goody. Stephanie's secretly watching at work. Well, we aren't going to say your name very loud because I don't want them to know that. Okay, awesome. So here we go. And if you guys can see my group chat, I'm hoping that if you guys want to ask questions during it, that you'll be able to chat with me at some point at the end. That should be on the right of your screen, and you should be able to see group chat. Oh my gosh, this is proof, you guys, that if I can figure this out, you can do anything in Mary Kay. Okay, so I'm so excited to start with you guys tonight, and I might start doing this more often if we can see each other live, because this is a lot of fun. So I have told you guys this before, that 85% of what we do is our head and our heart, and 15% of what we do is actually knowing the skill. So I'm going to use our training tonight to talk about your head and heart, half of it, and then I'll probably follow up with about 20 minutes of just some core ideas that I have right now that are working for me that I think may benefit you and your business. So I wanted to start with something really cool, and you guys, this may not apply, so if it doesn't, you can sleep for the first 30 minutes, but I have a feeling it will hit you like it hit me. And it's all about when your life is overflowing and when you might feel overwhelmed in your life. And so if you've never been overwhelmed in your life, that you probably won't relate to this, but I'm guessing that maybe a couple of you have been. So you guys, Anita says you guys can see others chat, but nothing from me. So I've excluded myself from the group chat. Great. Oh, well, I'll just have to work on that, girls, because I'm not sure why y'all can't see me. Okay, so I'll have to work on that. I'm sure it's some simple setting that chat, okay. No, it's gone. Okay, so that wasn't it. I'll figure that out. But while you guys are chatting with each other, if you have something for me, since I'm excluded from the chat, then text me at 850-449-0245 so I can actually get your questions if you have them. And maybe Anita can throw those to me. I may just have her do that. It may be easier. Okay, so I wanted to start with when life's overwhelming, if you guys ever have that. So I have a really funny story to start with. And I got this from church this morning. This is really my message from church. And it's funny how it always works out to be the perfect message on the Sunday that I do this call. So here was the message. My pastor started out by telling us this story of he was leaving seminary, and I don't even think he was graduated yet, but he was having to go to Chicago for some training up there. And he was going to this big church in Chicago. It's Bill Hybels' church, and I can't remember the name of the church, but you guys would know it. So Google Bill Hybel and you'll know what church I'm talking about. And he was going by himself, so he was meeting people for the very first time when he got there. And he said it was a long trip up that day because he was in seminary in Kentucky, and so he drove one day. And so when he got there, he was in a hotel room, I'm assuming, with 3 or 4 other people. And he said that after the long travel that he had to go relieve himself in the bathroom. So keep in mind, I'm at my church service this morning. This is my pastor talking. So he said, so I get in there and I relieve myself. And he said, but I did a courtesy flush. And I'm thinking he was talking about number 1, right? But he did a courtesy flush, and we all know what a courtesy flush is. And so he said, and he goes, and you know when you do that courtesy flush and you can tell that it didn't work, like the toilet, something's not happening because you didn't hear that great sound of things leaving the toilet. And he goes, and then you're left with that situation. Do you try to flush it again and take the risk that it's not going to go all down and it's going to come all up, or do you just do nothing? And he said, I decided to take the risk, and I did the second flush, which as I stood up, started coming up. And he said, and I have a problem. I've never met these people. I have just relieved myself in the bathroom, and now it's coming back up. So he goes, I'm standing there, and now it's coming over, and my shoes are wet. And he goes, we're in for damage control at this point. I got major problems, and they're going to find out possibly at this point, and I got to figure out. He goes, I'm grabbing towels, trying to get it sopped up, but it's just not going to work. Plus, we got other things coming up. So it starts apparently running out the door into the carpet in the hotel room. And he goes, now we have major problems. I'm to the point of no return here. So I have to open the door, and he said, we need to evacuate the room ASAP. We've got a problem with the toilet. It's overflowing. It's coming out here. And he said, so we just start heaving luggage in the hallway. People are tripping over to get out of the room because we want out of that room. We're not going back in that room. And he said, I was really overwhelmed with that situation. And so when life is overflowing, typically, or sometimes that can also be an overwhelming situation. So he was really transparent in church this morning, but that's how he started his message. And the message that came from it is, what do you do when life gets overwhelming? What's your go-to? Do you get angry? Do you get scared? Do you get really fearful? Do you just freeze up? Do you go for it? Like, what happens to you when you're overwhelmed? And so he gave us this story from Joshua, and it was so powerful. I've never really, I don't think, heard the story told this way, but it's basically when Joshua is taking the Israelites to the promised land. And it's after their 40 years of wandering in the freaking desert. And I guess I didn't really realize this, but Joshua took over for Moses. And there were over 2 million people that he took over to lead. And so it's based on this Joshua 3, 1 through 4. And it says, early in the morning, Joshua rose and set out from Shittim with all the Israelites, and they came to the Jordan. They camped there before crossing over. At the end of 3 days, the officers went through the camp and commanded the people, when you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God being carried by the priests, then you shall set out for your place. Follow it so that you may know the way you should go, for you have not passed this way before. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, a distance of about 2,000 cubits. Do not come any nearer to it. So I'm going to basically break that down and put it in English, because that's what he did for us, and it was powerful. So he first started out by just saying that here's these 2 million people that loved Moses, and now all of a sudden this is their brand new leader. And he goes, I'm sure some of them are like, what happened to Moses? Like, we really liked him, and now we got this little guy. He's young. I'm not sure if he knows what he's doing. And we see the promised land, but we can't get to it. And the reason they couldn't get to it was they had arrived at the banks of the Jordan River. And he showed us a picture of the Jordan River. And it's really, for the most part, not a big river, really low, only 5 to 7 feet at most depth. So you could typically even walk across the Jordan River to get to the promised land. But because it was harvest season, the Jordan River was overflowing at its banks when these 2 million Israelites got to the edge of the Jordan. And so when they see this, it's like raging water, in some cases up to 30 feet deep. It can get up to a mile wide during harvest season. So it's not something that you walk to the banks of and go, we're crossing this today and it's going to be easy. So I'm sure even Joshua was thinking, okay, God, you brought me here. Now look at the river. I got these 2 million people thinking, we want Moses back. And he goes, I'm sure Joshua was thinking to God, I want Moses back. I don't want to lead these people because I don't know how this is going to happen. So it's probably safe to say Joshua was a little overwhelmed at this point. So the message today was, what do we do, and what did Joshua do when he was overwhelmed? And the first thing that that's biblical to us, that's why we have the Sabbath, is that God asks us to rest. When we are at this place of overwhelming, we need to rest our mind, rest our body, rest our soul, and focus on God and what he has for us. I absolutely don't believe that he plants a seed in our heart and the desires of our heart for us not to pursue them. But I also realize that as we pursue them, there's going to be times when you're overwhelmed and you may have doubt and fear. So that's the power of the rest, is it really allows you to get still and listen and, understand and read his word. And if you don't get it, have books or people that can help you interpret it so that you know what it means to you. So that's the first thing you do, is that you rest. The second thing you do is you let the Lord lead the way. So our pastor this morning really explained the Ark of the Covenant, and it's been explained to me before, but it was just really basic this morning. So he said, basically the Ark, and he showed a picture, it's a box. And it holds the 10 Commandments in it. He gave us 2 other things that were in it, and I didn't write them down. But it's basically your sign that God is there. It's your reminder that God is there and that he's leading you. And so in the scripture, it talks about when you see the Ark of the Covenant, this box, that's going to allow you to know it's time to cross the river, because the priests have it that God's leading you. Okay? Makes good sense, right? So what came from that is that You know, who's leading you? What's your arc that you're following? Are you following and listening for God? Are you asking him to bless your day and looking for him to come in and out of your day? Because he does. If you'll listen and watch after a prayerful start, I'm telling you, I'm witness to it. It happens to me all the time, and it doesn't happen to me when I don't take the time. And so they watched for this ark to move. That was their sign. And so when the ark moved, they had to step out in faith, because one of the things that our pastor explained to us is that the river hadn't necessarily come down when they put their first toe in the water. And the priests had gone before them. So the priests actually were on an island in the middle of the river with the ark. But they had to stay, remember, this 2,000 cubits back. And I'm sure they're wondering, is this really how you transport 2 million people one step at a time? And we better not go closer than 2,000 cubits. I mean, who does that? So that was so helpful in this, is it's, as you go through this scripture, you understand the value of why the distance was there and why you had to be patient and why you had to wait for the ark to get to a certain point. So when the ark got to that certain point, then the followers could ultimately dip their toe in the water. But if you're not even willing to dip your toe in the water and step out in faith, knowing that the river's raging, right, then you're never going to be able to follow him. And so I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I'm burdened sometimes with things that I need to do. And sometimes I do them and I see the blessing or what happens because I stepped out in faith. But I know I'm missing out on some other things because I'm too scared. I want to ignore the burden. You've maybe been there too. So, I mean, the most important, you know, one of the most important pieces is once he leads and you see him, you got to be willing to follow. When we follow him, it may look different than what you thought it would look like, right? Because if you're going to go, you would expect the river to be down. Well, it might not look that way when he's asking you to follow him. It may look like you're going into raging waters when he's asking you to follow him. It's also going to be what the majority of the world does not do. He showed us this picture this morning. He was at some rural town in Alabama, and he had a bunch of geese crossing in front of him on the street. And he said, I'm talking, there were 50, 60 geese. And when he showed the picture, there was. And there was one white duck with the geese. And, you know, he's out of place, right? But he needed to get apparently where the geese wanted to go, and he decided to join them. And basically the message, and it was just so good to see it, was when you step out in faith and go where you feel led to go, you may not look like the same people around you, and it might not be with the people you're always with, and it may not look like what the world's dictating for the masses to do. That's why 2% move up in our company, because it takes a leap of faith and it takes guts. It's not for sissies. So you have to let the Lord lead the way. You have to step out in faith, and you can't lose heart. You see, when they stepped out in faith, the river was still raging. But what they didn't know is that 20 miles up the river, God had placed barriers in the river to stop it. So literally, by the time they got to the important part where they would drown, the river was going to be gone. But they couldn't see that when they were stepping in the river. They had to trust that he was preparing the way. And to me, that's actually the biggest message in this, is that don't lose heart. Just because nothing happened when they took the first step doesn't mean that nothing was going to happen in future steps. And how he explained was, it probably was 4 hours before they noticed the complete transformation of the river. So it maybe didn't happen the second step or the third step or the 10th step. And I think of that so often in our business. How many of you may make one phone call and you don't get the results and you lose heart? Well, this will never be about the one phone call that made you a sales director or a red jacket or even a great skincare class. It takes multiple calls over and over and over, some to the same people, some to different people, but it takes persistence and consistency. If you have not listened to my sick training from my meeting 2 weeks ago that was posted on the point. I'm making you listen or you can't get on any future calls. You have to hear the foundation of where we want to go this year. And I was going to teach on it tonight, but it's already recorded. There's no reason to teach on it. It's on the point. It's titled, it's on YouTube on the point. It's titled Transparency, Sick. I'm trying to think what else. You will see it there. And it's a training I did on Tuesday night. You have to watch it. If you have already watched it, I want you to text me and text me that you've already watched it at 850-449-0245. If you haven't watched it, you have to watch it this week. And I want you to text me when you do at 850-449-0245 and say, I've watched your sick training. Anyway, you have to watch that. It's a great foundation. But nothing happens until you take the first step and until you don't lose heart, because you've got to continue to do it. That's what SICK stands for this year. We're looking for sales directors. We're looking for people who are intentional, who are committed, and who are consistent. Those are the women that we want to surround ourselves with this year. So last but not least, how it worked was the Ark of the Covenant stayed in the center of the river as people passed by it, because the Ark of the Covenant is your reminder that God is there for you. And so as the people walked by, he not only led them there, he went first, but as they passed him, it was the reminder that he's with them their entire journey. And then he stayed there until the last person crossed, because he wants you to realize he has your back. He's going to be the one ultimately following you. And I just thought that was such a great picture of what that ark means to us. And he said, in our current ark, their ark was God, but our current ark is Jesus. I mean, he's the one that came for us. So he was our intercessory to God. And so he's your ark. And so I just can't encourage you enough. I loved that message. I just think it just made so much sense for what we do in Mary Kay. You have to be restful, and you have to be in a position where you can understand his message and him talking to you. You have to let him lead, and then you have to be willing to listen and be willing to move. So you have to take the step of faith. Don't lose heart. It's probably what I coach people on the most, is how they pick themselves up, how they don't let people's no's dictate their future. Because I look back, and the people who I thought were going to support me the most, had I let them dictate my future in Mary Kay, I wouldn't be here today. I would have given up a long time ago. And oh my gosh, can you imagine how bad that would stink for my family's future had I let them dictate it? So you can't lose heart. He planted that desire of you wanting more here, whether it's fiscally more on the career path, more friends, spiritual growth, personal growth. He placed you here for a reason. So let him lead you, but be willing to follow. So I love, love, love that message today. So that's your head and heart message, and I won't charge you for that. So one of the other reasons that I want you to watch this SICK training is it allowed me to set, how do I say this? It allowed me to set real affirmations for myself for the first time in my Mary Kay journey in 15 years. In the past, I've set affirmations that other people set for me. I didn't necessarily believe them. I don't know if you've ever had that happen where you've done something because you think, well, they believe it and it sounds good and I don't really know what mine is, so I'll do it. Well, I love what this has meant to me. I repeat these every single day. I'm excited today at what my efforts will mean to my position at leadership in Los Angeles. On target, triple star. Tonight's work will take me to the top 3 at seminars. Speaking from the stage is my next offspring at tonight's event. You are who you hang with. Imagine being mentored by Heidi Gelzer on a top NSD trip. God is your compass today. He is the only mentor you need, Emily. Listen to him carefully and follow his lead. And I think how awesome it is how God continues to remind you of things that you've already put down. I didn't know the sermon today when I wrote this, but yet it's my affirmation every single day. How awesome. What I do today makes a difference. I'm excited to see what moves today in my business. Show me some holy surprises today, Lord. The leaders I mentor today will continue to prosper when I break belief barriers for them. Go break some belief barriers today, Emily. God created a giant in you and has prepared you for this time and place of leadership. God planted the seed of desire of NSD in you. He carefully planted it and is grooming you daily to take on the position. Follow his lead and make the most out of today. You will reap great things when you sow great things. I'm consistent in this daily. An army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Step into your lion self today, Emily. You're leading a movement. So those are the affirmations. Let me tell you what I was telling myself and why this was so big. I had some limiting beliefs, and I don't know if you have them, and I'm not going to read all mine because I hate reading them now, but this is what that training is going to make you do for yourself. It's critical if you want to move up the career path that you take this serious and that you get on and you get this training. These were some of the things, though, I was telling myself, and this is what they ultimately turned into, was my affirmations, the positive that I read now. But these were some of the things my little brain was telling me. I'm scared of the work involved. I hate being gone from my family at night and my home. I'm scared of the people at the national sales director level. I don't have any NSD friends to mentor me. I'm scared of not doing it. What if it doesn't happen? I'm scared of the rejection. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, how awful does that sound versus what I get to read now? So this was life-changing training that I got at seminar this year, and you have to have it. I'm just encouraging you to get on it and have it. Okay, so let's move on. I have some fun stuff I want to do. I want to get you excited because as of yesterday, I think, what was yesterday? I think it was the 15th. I don't know what day it is. I don't know. My calendar's not there. Anyway, everybody can order the new products right now. And so I can't encourage you enough. I want you to get all over this. I am already making my Christmas list of who I'm going to sell to. And these are going to be some of the products that I get to offer. One of the neatest things, and I've never had this in my 15 years with Mary Kay, we basically have 2 new product options that we get to sell for Christmas this year. We have the whole Cityscape product option that is available right now. And then you have Christmas products that are coming out in October that you're going to be able to order. Okay. So here's the new lookbook. It's awesome. It's beautiful. But here's what's even better. Oh my gosh, is these things. Okay, so this is the brand new I can't even say it. Come on. Cityscape perfume. I mean, the bottle is so fast and cool. It's not even funny. It smells. I wish I could squirt this right here and y'all would sniff it, but apparently this YouTube thing doesn't work like that. You have to get these. You will sell them. Okay, so here's what happens. When you buy this Cityscape, when you get the oil spritzer that goes with it, which is freaking heaven, and you get the shower gel that goes with it. When your customer purchases that, and when you purchase it, while supplies last, you get this free Mary Kay tote. So basically what I'm doing right now when I go to customer appointments is I have these 3 products in this bag. I let them sniff my demo, and I tell them when they purchase this today, these 3 products, they get the bag for free. So I'm selling it now. And then I'm going to sell it to them for Christmas to all their friends, right? And their family, because they've wore it for 2 months now. These are limited edition. These 2 products, the gel and the oil, they will run out. I promise they will run out. It's like the lap of freaking luxury. You do not want to miss out on these. You want to order and you want to make an investment. Order what you need for the holidays. I'm going to add to my order. I just haven't ordered enough. So, I mean, I don't think it's stupid to order 20 shower gels and 20 oils, because then you have Valentine's Day right on the heels of Christmas if you don't sell them for Christmas. Anyway, it's no brainer. Then the men's cologne. Okay, this is life-changing. My husband won't wear cologne, but it has a shower gel that goes with it. So here's how we're working this. He's bathing with the shower gel, and y'all, he smells so yummy. Like, even if you have low testosterone, this may work for you. I wish the group chat was going, because I know that I could get some feedback on that. So what happens is he does the shower gel, and then on his way out, I have this by the back door, I squirt his back. He doesn't even know it's happening. It's just awesome. So however you have to work this men's cologne, you want to get it. I don't know. I need to look if the body wash for the men is limited edition. It is. It is. So I'm just telling you, all this limited edition stuff will run out. The tote bag will run out. I know it will. I just know how this stuff works. Okay. Then you have these freaking gorgeous eye palettes. They are so pretty. I don't know how well you can see these, but they are beautiful. They are so beautiful. So I'm going to hold really still. There's one, and then there's the other. Okay, so that's not the best. There are 3 nail colors. These are the best stocking stuffers. I can't wait to tell you what I'm going to do at the end of this call. You're going to die when I tell you. But you want those 3, and they're all pretty. There's a pink, there's a gray, and there's a taupe. And then there's these freaking lipsticks. And I want y'all to see what the top of this lipstick looks like. Why is it not in the camera? Okay, there it is. Look at the shape of that, how cool it is. And then it just rolls out. I mean, it is the coolest flippin' lipstick. Okay, and it comes in 3 colors, all right? And it's limited edition. Then probably one of the most exciting things is this, their new color cards. And they are so neat, and they have all these new colors in them, and we haven't had them in a while. So these are really cute, or we haven't had new ones in a while, I should say. So here's the deal. If you text me that you listened to the training already, the sick training, I'm going to mail you a treat. And when you watch it this week, you have to do it by Friday. When you watch it this week, I'll also mail you a treat. And it might be some color cards. Just saying. Okay, so I want you to get excited about the new stuff, because you can order today, and don't be sad. You want to get it before it runs out. I just know how this will go. And you're going to want all of this on top of all the Christmas offering. So I'm going to give you the big salad right now. At my next, since I can do video now, I'm so excited, because on our next monthly meeting, I am going to, on September 20th, will be our next Moving On Up call. I'm probably going to open it up to all units, more than just the Moving On Up people. So if you have team members, now's the time to recruit, so they get on this phone call next next month. Sunday, September 20th, we're going to do it at 7:30 p.m. Central, because I'm going to need an hour and a half with you. I'm going to do my wrap workshop on YouTube for you. I'm going to give you your plan for Christmas. If you want to make an extra $500 for Christmas, I'm going to show you that. If you want to make an extra $5,000 for Christmas, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I can't encourage you enough. Put that on your calendar. We'll be mailing postcards. At least to our key people, we'll be mailing postcards. But you want to build your team this next month so that they can be on it with you. All right. So let me just share with you. I'm going to share with you some core stuff that I'm doing right now, because I just felt like there was some basic stuff that I'm personally doing, and I'm going to tell you about it. Some of it may be repeat for you, but I get asked a lot, okay, so what does your day look like? Oh, what's happening? Oh, never mind. I set that. Okay. I set some notebooks on my keyboard. It'll stop in a minute. Dear Jesus. I hope y'all can still hear me. Good. Okay, it stopped. Okay. So I wanted to share with you guys kind of what my goal folder looks like right now and what I'm personally doing. One of my commitments this year is that I'm personally working my business like I'm a DIQ. And so I'm working it hard and I'm having some great luck with some stuff. And so I just wanted to share with you how I track it and some of the things that I'm doing. Okay. So the first thing that I'm doing that I'm really excited about, and I've been posting this on Facebook, is my 21-day Glow and Tell challenge that the company's asked us to do. I have absolutely loved this. It's shocked me more than I don't think I expected to do what I'm doing, and I'm pretty excited about that. So here's how I initially made my list. I went through old goal folders. If you don't have those, then don't worry about it. But I just started going through some people in my head that aren't on my skincare, that I maybe have never facialed or facialed a really long time ago and they got off of it, whatever, okay? So here's kind of how I made this initial list. I actually started with my customer base, and I haven't even finished all of these yet because it's been so good, which is a good thing. But I have some customers that are actually in my customer base that aren't even buying skincare from me right now. So those are some key people initially that I identified that I wanted to do this with. I also identified some moms of Addie's friends that I have known over the years or just meeting. And at your kids' age, some of you guys may have elementary, some may be out of the house, but when they get to middle school and high school, excuse me, see, this is what's bad about a phone call. You guys get to see me do everything. So luckily I don't have to pick my nose, just scratch it. So I just have either been scared to say anything to these people, haven't really had their contact information. For the most part, they're just acquaintances, because once your kid has a cell phone, it's like you just have no contact with these moms and these other families. So I had Addie get the mom's contact information, which was so easy because she had instant back to me. I went, I've gone and I still haven't completed this. I have hardly dented this. I went back through every friend I have in Facebook. And here's where I'm really able to highlight some of these. Oh, goody. Joyce is on the call. Good for you. Okay, I'll mail you a treat, Joyce. I wish we could chat, y'all. I've got to figure that out. Okay, so anyway, back to this. But I'm going back through Facebook and I'm identifying people like in high school that it probably would be weird for me. They live out of town, so I can't facial them live. I possibly want to talk to them about the opportunity, but it's like wanting to go to bed with them on the first date, and I haven't talked to them in 30 years, even though I can't believe I've been out of high school that long, but that really is the number, I think, maybe more. Anyway, so I'm going to put them on the 21-day challenge, because what perfect people. I'm a test panel for my Mary Kay corporate. I'd love for you to be on the test panel. It's a way I can treat you. I haven't talked to you in 30 years. I'm going to reach out that way. So I really want you to go back through your Facebook and look at these people. We all have friends on Facebook. Even if you only had 50, I mean, we're not necessarily like 15-year-olds that have 2,000, but I'm sure some of you have 2,000 friends. So I really want you to go back through that and think, gosh, who's out there that could take advantage of this 21-day challenge for me? On the point, I have several times given you script that I've used. So just use it for your Facebook, same script. Who do you send Christmas cards to? Would those be some viable people? Neighbors. Okay, so I have a story for you. And if this doesn't force you into it, I don't know what would. I went to an event about 3 months ago, and I may have told you this, so I'll hurry if I have. But I ended up at the event and I recognized a lady in the back, and there's times in your life where you've had a former job, you have your husband's job, people you've met there, you have your church, then you have Mary Kay, and I'm like, how do I know her? Where do I know her from? And so I went up to her and I said, I think you're my neighbor across the street. I'm Emily, and I think you live across the street from me. Do you live on Soundside? And she said, yeah, I do. Aren't you Sims? I said, yeah, I'm Emily. Well, guess what, y'all? She had a red jacket on. And she says to me, she says, yeah, I'm in DIQ. I don't even know what that means, but I think I'm in DIQ. Y'all, I wanted to stab a dull fork in my eye and just leave the place because this neighbor lives across the street from me. And I pursued her when they first moved in. And I feel like I pursued her really hard and she just blew me off, but I never went back to the well. And now she was in DIQ 3 months ago. I don't know if she's in DIQ, out of DIQ. I never see the woman, right? Obviously. And so I need to go check on her and see if she made it through DIQ, even though I wanted to slash her tires. But it wasn't her fault. It was my fault. I don't know my neighbors. Like, I hadn't reached out. My neighborhood's kind of really unique. It's not like a neighborhood, but it's my fault. Okay. So who do you have around you that you would be sick if they walked into an event and they're in a red jacket and they think they're a DIQ? Just don't let it happen to you. So these are some people that I put on my 21-day list. There are people that I've been scared of. In some cases, you guys, I've even had people hesitant on doing the 21-day challenge, and I'm dropping it at their doorstep. They don't even have to come to me. I just need their face morning and night for 21 days. I know I would have never booked them for a facial, but they agreed to do the 21 days. So here's how I'm manning it. I started by literally, I have my goal folder, so I'm going to kind of show you that tonight. But I literally have put just a simple notebook paper that's numbered 1 through 21, and that's where I'm keeping my 21 challenge. Okay, I'm going to do this all year. I got a calendar, a really small one that fits in my goal folder from Office Depot, and I'm basically, the day that I deliver it, I'm putting it, and I know then when their 21 days start, because I'm mailing them a postcard during that 21 days. I'm texting them with encouragement. In the mailing that I'm doing to them, it's going to have a lipstick sample and just a happy. I just want them to feel loved and encouraged during this 21-day challenge and thanked by me. So here's my goal. I have right now 10, and I've been working on it. And I have more that I'm lining up for this week, somewhere out of town. But my goal is to do 10 a month the next 12 months. At least have 10 people at all times during the month on my 21-day challenge. That's 120 people taking the 21-day challenge from me this year. So I did the math for you because I want you to see financially what that could mean to you. If 120 people tried the product for 21 days, then the company stats tell me 80% are going to keep it. So that's 96 people potentially that are going to keep my skincare set. Well, on my calendar, I mark whether they take a repair set, clear proof, botanicals, time-wise. I have to say the majority of mine I'm putting in repair, but I know that that may not be your client base. So for our averages tonight, if 80% keep it, then that's 96 people out of the 120. I would get 96 new customers. This doesn't count my skincare classes or any other way that I'm working my business. This is just 96 new customers from the 21-day challenge in a year. That would literally double my customer base right now, because over the years I've given them away as people have become a part of my team. Anyway, 96 new customers. If they each on average bought the set, and I'm assuming between a repair set and a botanicals, the average they'd spend is $100. That's probably low, but that's what I'm using. So 96 new customers this year would spend almost $10,000, $9,600 with me, $4,800 in profit. So I'm telling you tonight how to give yourself almost a $5,000 raise this year. Now that may not be big to you, but I get excited about that because it's little effort. Then I'm going to say, out of those 96, I'm going to get to them soon enough in the year, they're going to reorder at least one time from me. So 75% of that 96, which is 72 people, they're going to reorder from me, and they're going to reorder $100 from me within the year. Because if they're on that set and they're using it, they're going to reorder. That's another $3,600 in profit. So now we're at $8,400 in profit. This doesn't count if these people now, these 96 new people have fallen in love with the product. Do you think they're going to refer me to some of their friends now? So I've literally taken a lady who would have never had an appointment, who may ultimately have a skincare class because she's excited about the product. Do you think out of the 96, I might get a team member or two? Probably so, unless I'm deaf, dumb, blind, and drunk. And hopefully I won't be all year, right? So that's 8,400. I haven't counted that I'm going to have 30 new people by November 1st that are new customers, right? And I'm going to assume 20, 30, at least 30 new demo people, I should say. 24 of them are going to keep it. So now I have 24 new customers that are going to shop for Christmas for me. And they're each going to spend 50 bucks. And that's going to be hard to only spend 50, but that's all they're going to spend. So that's another $600 for Christmas just from these leads, not counting my customer base. 600 profit, 1,200 retail. It's pretty endless, just this one thing, what it could mean to your business. And if you work a full-time job, this is pretty easy to do. I mean, this is literally just getting product to people so that they can do a 21-day challenge. So how am I doing that? Well, I have enough inventory. I've made the investment over the years. I can give them real product. So that's what I'm doing. I'm letting them take full repair sets, because if they keep it after the 21 days, I'm giving them a 25% discount. If they don't keep it, I'm taking it back, and I'm doing product return because they're not pleased with it. Okay? I'm doing that with all my skincare, okay? I'm doing it with people I know for the most part. Excuse me, I had to adjust myself so that I'm not worried about my product going bye-bye. If I mail it, I'm probably going to take the day codes off of it so I have that information, but most likely they're going to keep it and they're going to get the discount. Now, if you just have heartburn or don't have the inventory for that, it's as easy as taking a lookbook, and whatever set you have, I know as a consultant, you have each of these sets open for demo. If you don't, bust one open. You could literally take Ziploc bags and do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 of the skincare. Give them 21 days to try. They do it out of a Ziploc bag, and then you can give them a deal at the end of the 21. I'm begging you, do something with this. It is like selling drugs to an addict. The power of 21 days, you know how it makes them feel after one time. Imagine if they use it 21 days, how their skin's going to feel. It's going to have to feel better. It's going to have to feel different. And can you imagine them wanting to give it back to you after they've had it and loved how their skin felt? I had one lady so resistant. She was one of the very first people I called. I think I even told you guys about her on Facebook. And she said, oh, I don't want to do it, Emily. I don't have the money to spend. I said, listen, Fran, I just need your face and your opinion of it. I'm not asking you to buy it. I'll take it back. Would you just give me your opinion of it? Because it's not what we want. I mean, that's truly what we want. But she's using something on her face. I know she is. I see her. So literally 3 days later, after giving it to her, she raced across the sanctuary at church to come tell me how good her skin felt. She goes, oh my gosh, I love it. I know I'm going to buy it. I'm like, you don't have to buy it, Fran. Remember, we talked about this. She goes, but I love how my face feels. I would have never booked her for an appointment because one time on the product, I just don't know that it would have done it for her. So please, please, please try this. What's the worst thing? And if 10's too many to have on your calendar every month, then do 5. Do something with it. I really believe that it could change the shape of what your customer base looks like this year. So that's one thing I track in my goal folder. Then the other thing I track is what you do is my skincare classes. They're on another page. You do not need a fancy goal folder or even these sheets. The sheets are on overcomerarea.com. You can just do a legal pad, okay? Then on the other side is all the people that I'm working to recruit. And I want to tell you about the recruiting piece right now for me. I'm doing 2 + 2 + 2. And I know I've done a phone call on that where I have told you how you work on purpose and you get 2 interviews every single appointment. Out of 4 people, that's the averages. But I'm doing more than that this year. I made a hit list. In my old job, when I needed to fill a position, we recruited the right person for the position. And I don't know why I haven't been more aggressive with that in Mary Kay. I am looking for certain people. I'm looking for sales directors this year. I'm looking for people that are intentional in their life. I'm looking for people that are committed. I'm looking for consistent performers. I'm going to go find those people. I'm going to hold skincare classes and generate 2 interviews, but I'm also going to generate some recruitments that I go after. And I'm working on 2 right now. I want them. There's no reason that they shouldn't be on my team. And one of my favorite lines that I got from seminars, could you get excited about making some money with me this year? Because I know what they do in their current jobs. I'm going to help them make more money than their current jobs. There is a powerful vehicle that people don't know about, and it's your Mary Kay business opportunity. And they don't know about it unless you tell them about it. And so I would make sure that you make a recruitment list in addition to an interview list. An interview list is who you're generating at classes. A recruitment list is people that you need to go after because they deserve to hear more about the Mary Kay opportunity, and you want them on your team because they're powerhouses. And if you don't feel equipped to talk to them, your director does. I guarantee it. She will take that lead every step of the way with you and help you get that person. So that's also what I'm doing with recruitment. My 2 focuses every day, and I have it big on my goal folder, is I'm looking for my next personal recruit and my next offspring sales director. That's all I'm focusing on this year. So that's what I'm doing with my goal folder. If you do not utilize a goal folder every month, you need to go to the YouTube training on overcomerarea.com and get with it. Because if you don't have that, you're not managing business at all, in my opinion, on a consistent basis. I don't know how you keep up with your leads. I don't know what goals you've set. It's a concise way to do it. If you have a better way, let me know. But you got to, if you're doing it no way, collectively, you need to try this. Some of the other things that are in my goal folder is I have a national sales director oath in my goal folder. I have my Bumblebee tracking in my goal folder. It goes with me. I have a board in my office behind me that I stare at all the time so that my family can watch the progress. I have a 6 most important things to do list in there. And then I have my compensation plan as a sales director because it's new and I'm trying to track my money better, and it's a reminder to do that. So I encourage you to get together with that. Now, we may have some sales directors that watch this, so I will tell you I have 1 more notebook that I utilize, and it's a 2-subject notebook. The first subject is all my new people, and my Nikki Hill. You know, I got to have her staring at me, sticking her tongue out at me. So I have pages for every new person that comes in and the notes from their interview. And then the second tab is for all my key people that I'm working with. And so if you want to own your money as you move up the career path and people's effort starts becoming your paycheck, right? So like this is Lee Weekly's page. So I track every lead she's working as far as recruiting, because if she doesn't have it or misplaces it, I bring the reminder up because we talk about this list often. And so if it's your paycheck and you want her to move up, then you'll track it as much as she tracks it, okay? So this is no different than coaching a hostess. You're the expert. You make the money off of it. You want to take the time to do it right, and you want to track the results of it. So I track my key people in the last half of this. So that's literally what goes with me all the time in addition to my calendar. So that's all I prepared for you tonight. So what I would love to do next is, oh, y'all are watching. I promise I'll figure out the group chat. If you are familiar with this and know about it, maybe you could send me a message at some point about that. But are there any questions? I'd love to open it up. Anita has said to me that she has pinned the sick video on Mary Kay The Point. And so it'll just be the top thing that you see, so you won't have to look for it. So any questions that I can help you guys with before I let you go tonight? So one thing that's going to happen next time is we're going to go over the Christmas workshop. I'm also going to be getting from your sales directors, we're going to recognize the top 10 in sales from probably year to date. We'll do year to date, and we'll do it in quota sharing, probably top 5 in quota sharing year to date. And so be working your tail off, because you're going to get big time recognition with our video. So I want people to start seeing who the movers and shakers are. Okay, well, kiddos, there's no more questions, so I'm going to let you go. These will end up being posted to the Overcomer site if we think that they're worth it. And I loved being on. Give me your feedback. If you will, text me and tell me how you enjoyed tonight, if you like it this way, or if you'd rather go to a phone call, because I'm okay if we don't stare at my face. But let me know what you thought of it. And y'all have a great week, and tear it up this August. Move into red.